Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Thank you as always for your tweets. Ali Moreno with me. Now, it was supposed to be Julian Laurent, but his equipment ran out of battery, so off the subs bench once again. I think for the second time this week, Craig Burley is with us.
I'm not in my car in the golf club car park this time. I can't tell you.
Where are you now?
I'm back in my basement, and somebody spotted something on the I'm in the basement in front of the fireplace again. I don't. You can't make this up. It was colleagues of ours from ESPN came round a couple of weeks ago and installed, like they did in all the boys' houses, installed some very expensive equipment that took them hours to put up. And every time I do this, I'm sat in the basement in front of the fireplace on Skype. It just seems a giant waste of time them even coming around in the first place.
Yeah, someone was wondering about a bottle that was on your mantelpiece.
Yeah, well, I don't use the basement. My wife's been using it, which is why I did today's show. For those that would notice, I did it from my dining room because there was photos of the kids when they were younger. Because my wife was doing, and this is very boring, and I'm just telling you, she was doing a virtual yoga class downstairs in the basement here, because that's what they all do. So yeah, well, I'm not sure about that. But I wasn't allowed down, so I'm back down. There was a bottle on the thing up here, the top of the mantelpiece, which I'm not sure what was in it, but I can tell you it wasn't mine, whatever it was, because I don't come down here very often.
Okay then, right.
I can tell.
Let's solve questions, shall we?
I can tell Ali's been really interested in that couple of stories there. It's like,
well, I mean, between the virtual yoga and the
me and Ali have been waiting for hours for Jules' lighting.
There's a lot to take in.
I tell you what, Jules is really getting on my nerves. I tell you what, right? We come on the other day before we came on here. He said to me, he says, "Hey, Craig," he says, "I didn't realise Scotland had never got out of the group stage at a major tournament." I went, "Yeah, well, everybody else knows that, Jules, but yeah, thanks for that anyway." Anyway, is there any chance you can charge your battery at the house, sort your Wi-Fi out, and get your camera right? Because every time we go to do something, there's a problem. We did it again today. We had to step down about 3 times because he kept freezing in the background. Bloody journalists. What have I always said to you, Dan, about this show? Too many bloody journalists come on this show. Too many journalists. They're nothing but problems.
I have a question, Dan.
They're supposed to be the smart ones.
Yeah. Quick question, Dan. Did we not have any other option for a super sub? I'm merely asking the question. Was Stevie Nicol not available? Where's Xhaka?
Yeah,
what's happening?
Stevie could have been a super sub, but he could have been engrossed in several different activities, one of which would have definitely excluded him from coming on this extra time. And the other side of it is, if you want to be here till like 9 o'clock tonight, while he sorts out the technical side of it on a last-minute call, that's up to you.
Yep.
Any questions?
Meanwhile, Xhaka is pretending that his Wi-Fi doesn't work.
What the hell's up with Xhaka? By the way, I'm worried about Xhaka. Is Xhaka okay? Because the last time I saw him, he was looking well, but he was wearing a pair of bloody hideous glasses. What the hell? Did he get them off Will.i.am or something? Where the hell did he get them?
We haven't seen him since he lost the quiz. That was it.
Oh well, it's a lasting. See, it's a lasting memory for him. It marked him. It broke his heart and broke his will. That's what I do. You bring a super quiz to me, I destroyed him, and he hasn't been the same since.
If you took Manchester City and Liverpool out of the Premier League, who would you say would win it? Craig.
Who was third when we stopped?
Leicester.
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Ali.
I was gonna go with Manchester United, but if you took Manchester City and Liverpool out of the equation, those are teams against whom Manchester United seems to play better. So if they're not in the picture, then Manchester United goes on and loses some points against some other team that they shouldn't lose points to, and therefore they come second to Chelsea.
Listen. Is everybody else, Dan? I presume everybody else is having the same issue during this kind of lockdown period. We're not quite in lockdown. We're allowed out of the house, but Is it just me? I presume not. That everybody seems to be going in the fridge a little bit more than normal. Is that a safe bet? People are eating a little bit more.
Yeah, I think because
because
everyone's just bored.
Yeah. So if we're doing that, what the hell's happening at the Nicol household? If we're going in the fridge more, what's happening? What's he doing? He must be living in the fridge. He's moved his bed into the fridge. That's what he's done.
Well, he gave us a full breakdown of what a shepherd's
who's
pie
better,
is yesterday,
Ali?
and different variations of the shepherd's pie and how he's been able
he
to
was going on about that.
put those ingredients together, but was complaining about the fact that it wasn't a full shepherd's pie. It's just variations of what a full shepherd's pie looks like.
Well,
it only could have minced meat.
He phoned up from the golf club the other day because he wanted to, we have a $30 minimum that gets charged to our card anyway, whether we spend it or not in the bar, as you know. And so come the end of the month, he wanted to use it up, Stevie being Stevie. So he called the restaurant, which is obviously just doing sort of takeout, from his phone on the 17th hole. And they didn't have what he was looking for because it's a limited menu at the moment. So he's next. I heard him in the cart behind me, obviously separate carts. I heard him say, "All right, so you haven't got that." He says, "So have you got shepherd's pie?" And I thought, "Oh, for God's sake, I'm a wrestler." I'm serious. I'm being serious. And he came down and he said to me, he says, "They've only got burgers." He said, and I said, "Well, what do you want?" I said, "There's a limited menu at the moment. I heard you ask for shepherd's pie. They haven't got it, but he did get a couple of burgers, so he was happy that he didn't get charged $30 without getting any food. Amazing."
Ali, who's better, Sergio Busquets or Xabi Alonso?
Ooh. I'm gonna take, at his best, Sergio Busquets. Yesterday we talked about who the two-man midfielder that I would take, and I said and I mentioned Xavi and Iniesta, and Steven made a point of the fact that it could be Xavi and Iniesta because they had Busquets behind them. And I would tell you, for a guy that doesn't play a whole lot of defense and doesn't win a whole lot of tackles, Sergio Busquets was able to manage and control the pace of the game for Barcelona and be that natural outlet from the back line in a way that not many central midfielders are able to do around the world. So at his best, I would take Sergio Busquets.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree because I think if we're talking about a range of passing, Xabi Alonso certainly had the better range of passing. I saw him, commentated on him many times when he was at Liverpool, and his vision was incredible. But I think for the all-round package that Busquets had, the protection, the success, and the longevity that he's had, I would probably say Sergio Busquets. But Alonso's passing was just incredible.
Ali, if you were a manager, what style of play would you want to implement?
About winning. That's what I would care about, winning. And using the players that I have available to the best of their abilities and trying to maximize what I have available in those players rather than complain about the players that I don't have or I may want to have. I have what I have in my personnel. I'm going to put them out there in a situation where they can be successful, and whatever that style may be, it has to suit the players that you have in your locker room.
Craig, who do you think should enter the Premier League Hall of Fame first? Dennis Bergkamp or Didier Drogba?
Can I give my stock answer that I normally give? What, 2 words, Dan, what are they?
Not bothered.
Correct. However.
Oh, come on. You can't give me a not bothered for that.
I'm not bothered. But I'm more bothered about anything behind me.
That's a good question.
Yes, I'm not saying it's not a good question. I'm more worried about anything behind me that's incriminating. So I've had a little scan around and I can't see anything, so I'm back on an even keel. I would say,
Right.
I would say, you never know what's in your basement. Guys, you got a 21-year-old boy down here doing weights. You got to check everything out. I would say I love them both, but I thought Dennis Bergkamp, different players, but Bergkamp is an amazing talent. So I would say Dennis Bergkamp. What's up with you?
I want to say something, but I like working here. I need the money. If you were a manager, what star? Oh wait, no, sorry, that's completely thrown me. Should Lautaro? Right, Ali, Bergkamp.
Are you okay?
Drogba?
Dennis Bergkamp.
I'll tell you later.
Such a pleasure to watch him play. Guy that just glided through the field, elegant as elegant could be, smart, intelligent, and what a finisher he was. Just a classy player.
Should Lautaro Martinez choose Chelsea or Barcelona as the next club to play for? Craig.
Come on.
What kind of question is that?
Come on. You get a chance to go. You get a chance to go to Barcelona or Real Madrid. You jump at it. So if he's going to, it's not even a choice. As good a club as Chelsea are. I mean, it's Barca all day, every day.
Finally, Craig, are you taking part in any home workouts?
Virtual yoga.
Well, I'm banned from the virtual yoga. I'm banned from that. I haven't got the correct attire from the virtual yoga, but I can tell you, it was going on just down here to my left. But I've got no photos. What I can tell you, and I'm definitely not taking part in this, Dan. What I can tell you, because the gyms have closed, as you know, I don't really bother with it. I've got the one at ESPN now and again, but now the gyms have closed. My son.
Yeah.
Who's 21? And you've seen him. You know what size.
The aforementioned 21-year-old.
Yeah, he's 6'3", stroke 6'4". He's massive. He's just him and his mate. In the other side of the basement, down where I am, he's got a load of gym equipment, and I can tell you, they've been what do you call it, deadlifting or whatever, when they lift it up to their knees and drop it. Because we're sitting upstairs, and you want to hear these things. You want to hear these things hitting the floor. He was telling his mum how much is on it. I don't know what it was, but it was a lot of weight, put it that way. And I saw him come upstairs the other day, and I'm
sure you tolerate the noise well.
No, I do. Well, there's a reason I tolerate the noise well. Is because he's 230 pounds, and he'll throw me out the bedroom window. Right, that's why I tolerate it. I just said to him, just make sure you've got a mat down, because in the second part of the basement down there, it's concrete. I said, Jesus Christ, this stuff's going to go through the concrete, because they're lifting a heck of a lot of weights. So I don't partake in that. If driving a golf cart at the golf club is exercise, then that's the exercise I'm getting at the moment.
Yeah.
All right.
Ali, what are you doing exercise-wise?
I work out with my son, who has some sort of workout program from his soccer club, and they put it together for him, and I do it with him as much as I can. And the other day we went through a core workout. That was fun. It was really fun the day after. I wasn't sore at all. Didn't feel anything.
I'm doing triceps.
I can tell you that I put in a lot of work with him to kind of help out, so that he's not doing stuff on his own.
I'm working my tries as we speak. Right, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. There we go. 1, 2, 3.
Unsee that.
Back's good. My back's good.
We're done. Have a great weekend, guys. Just a reminder, we'll be back here on Monday. Careful of the old back. Thank you very much, Super Sub Craig and Ali. Enjoy the weekend, guys. We'll see you next week.